What's it say? People are all over the place. Everything you've got, the whole bridge over the river fell down. There's cars all over the place.
911.
Yes, I was on the bridge that just collapsed. I'm on like a little island part in the middle. There's a lot of people here too, and I think there could be people trapped in cars is what I'm really worried about.
Call came over, bridge down at the U of M.
The bridge collapsed. Fire in place.
Well, at that point in time, I don't think I really believed it. It's not something that you hear every day.
We have construction workers, cars all over, and people in the water as well.
I just finished eating and my phone rang.
I was really unable, I think, to understand the totality of it.
Fire in a vehicle on the collapsed bridge, and the only way they're going to be able to get out.
So I ran back to my car as quickly as I could and then came down to City Hall, where our emergency operations center is.
My driver immediately just slammed down the brakes.
It was surreal, and it was like, you're like, this can't be real. I gotta be sleeping, or it's a bad dream, or...
My breath was taken away when I looked across.
It was just incomprehensible.
And this incredible concrete and steel structure that is supposed to stand up through all time was just twisted like a kid had thrown it down and broke it. It was from there that I could see the school bus, and my heart kind of sank when I saw that.
My idea was check the cars that were submerged. Got to the edge of the water, took out my turnoffs, put the Gumby suit on, got tied off, jumped in the water.
At the time, we had at least 5 people still trapped in vehicles. I started to take an inventory as to who was hurt, in what fashion, how they were hurt.
We used the wreckage as a crossing path to that bridge deck, crossing a span of open water, and it was very difficult and tenuous to get to.
I'm in my car. There's people out here. They got the door open, but I'm not moving because my back is in a lot of pain right now.
The 911 volume was probably about 3 times the normal amount.
There's too many phones being used, and I can't...
I knew what I was supposed to do. And the good news was pretty much everyone else knew that too, because we'd prepared enough.
People were coming in and knowing the people that were involved and all the training they had that was kicking in.
The EOC's role is to get that group operating on the scene anything they need, equipment, people, food, whatever it is.
In our EOC, there's police, fire, public health, public works, up to people that you wouldn't think of, finance and public information folks.
That crew around that table answered hundreds of questions in a real-time way and had to kind of tap into their own knowledge of what needed to happen to get things done and to serve that front line.
So that's what the Emergency Operations Center does. It constantly identifies the resources that are needed, and then we go through either our city, county, state, or federal government to bring those resources, get them on site, and get the job done.
I was the first one on 10th Avenue Bridge. I think my original report was that we had a major disaster.
Approximately 30-plus cars that I can see at this time.
We initially established command like we always do and started dividing up work among the command staff. This particular incident just required a lot more people.
And here we, by the state, fell into a county river with the city of Minneapolis on both sides. So it was very complicated. The key to being successful was having unified command, having 3 incident commanders, one from the fire department, one from the police department, and one from the county sheriffs, so they could focus on just their part of the emergency.
Got to the 10th Avenue Bridge where we established command. I could not talk to police, I could not talk to EMS, I could not have talked to other agencies without having a unified command structure. It helps us to gain control and to gather up and to effectively manage an incident of this size.
The fire department was the unified incident commander, and we started taking some of the law enforcement issues like cause and scene security to preserve evidence and to make sure no one else got hurt by entering an area we didn't want them to enter.
We rescued over 50 people in the first 90 minutes and got them on the way to the hospital, which was great work, not only by firefighters but law enforcement and the public.
Public Works' really first job during those first few hours was to assist in the rescue operation. We had to secure some of the roadways immediately adjacent to the collapse.
As the police and fire department set up the incident command site, it was critical to get absolute information to them on a real-time basis. So we actually set up a GIS, Geographic Information Services office, right there side by side with the police and fire command.
We had every one of our department staff, plus staff from other departments, answering media calls.
The national and international media was incredible, how fast it was on our doorstep and how demanding they were going to be, as well as how many of them there were.
We had, 200,000 people who come into downtown every day, and one of the three main ways they get to downtown is out. So how do you get that kind of practical information at the same time you're managing this national and international message?
Mount Weather played a huge role. 5 years ago, the fire department put in for a grant through FEMA, through the federal government, to take about 80 of our people from the city of Minneapolis, the county, and the state to Mount Weather, Virginia.
And we put ourselves through some simulated disasters.
It was a very daunting 3 days.
We could only use our emergency operation plans and the resources we had at the time. And we did not do well.
I saw in that case what our strengths and our weaknesses were. We addressed those, and we were ready.
And the training that we've actually been putting into that really paid off.
Something pretty clearly was demonstrated in all of this, and it's the fact that when you invest in quality government, you get quality results, and when you don't, there are consequences.
People across the country would say, what a great job you did, Minneapolis. And to me, the word that I used was proud. I was so proud of our city.
One of the things I did when I took this job was to bring pride to the patch, and you couldn't ask for a better response.
For members of a national audience who don't know life in the Twin Cities, what have you got here that's going to get you through what you need to get through?
At least in the Twin Cities there, we got the Midwestern, the Minnesota nice. We got a lot of that, and so like last night, I didn't have to ask; they just came, and that's probably the.
You've got some good people here.
Yeah.
And you're going to need them.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll leave it to someone else to critique and to say how we did, but I have to say that had to be the proudest moment of my life on that job. The people that I worked with, the paramedics, policemen, the civilians, everyone there, I tell you, it absolutely reinforced my faith in humanity.